all of you that are following, you're gonna see the whole story, you're gonna get more free games. Yesterday, we talked about a lot of things. We talked about blackjack, we talked about all the different types of blackjacks, how to play the different blackjacks, which blackjack games are the best, which bonus bets are the best. We talked about pag out, talked about pag out face up and face down and the bonus bets. We talked a little bit about 3-card poker, variations of blackjack. We talked about what hands to double, what hands to split in some regard. We talked about what you need to be a winner. We talked about certain exploitative features. Then we talked about UTH, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, which is a game that you can exploit and beat. You can beat that game if you do what I told you to do yesterday. It's a way to create an edge over the house. It's not rocket science, and a lot of people are going to look at it and go, oh, that was so simple. I agree it was simple. You didn't think of it. I did. I'm the one who told you. Yeah, it was simple. You didn't do it. I hope other APs. One, they're not going to be happy with me, and two, I'm doing it at their expense. The majority of you watching probably won't use these features because for whatever, maybe you're just watching me for entertainment purposes. Totally fine, but there's an entire community of people that literally pay their bills with this. They make a living. They get rich. There's a group of rich, a large group, a whole community of rich professional gamblers that do the things I'm going to teach you, how they get rich and how they pay bills. What they do is they exploit casinos, they beat casinos, some of them cheat casinos, whatever it is, they win in the casino. It's what they do for a living. They've been doing it their whole lives. Sometimes it's passed down generationally. There's a lot of us that can relate to that. So anyway, I'm going to give you the best amount of information I can without making the block hot, without leading you to your own demise. I want to help you guys. So some of this you might have to read through some of the lines, but so be it. I have to explain before I tell you my first one on the list, which is a pretty crazy one. Before I tell you this first one, I have to explain some other aspects of a casino. You can negotiate in life, outside of a casino, in your real life. You can negotiate everything. Everything in life is negotiable. Everything has a price, and anybody and everything can be convinced to do things, even if they say or it's written that they can't. I promise, everything in life is negotiable. When it comes to the casino, everything is ran by money. Everything is negotiable, and everything can be changed, every rule broken, and every moral bet across the board. Casino negotiation only work before you show up. So this is the reason. The reason a casino is willing to negotiate with you is because they're going to get your business, right? They want you to come in their door, and they don't want to lose you to somebody else. And they also, there's a lot of people that just wouldn't go gamble. Like, they're like, I gamble sometimes, but like, I'm chilling this weekend. I don't live in Vegas. I don't live in San Diego. I don't live in Atlantic City. I don't live in Reno. I don't live in Biloxi. You know, I don't live in a casino area. I'm not going to gamble. I'm going to do my own thing at home. So a casino wants to first convince you to stop what you're doing and get to their casino. Next is, if you get to one of those towns, you live in one of those towns, they want to convince you to play with their casino, not their competitor, which is a reason particularly Vegas is the most lenient with their rules. They have the most flexibility and the most willingness to be negotiated with. But you can do this anywhere. Yes, you can do this anywhere, but I'll tell you the hardest place to do it is any Florida casino. 100% of the casinos, 100% of the card rooms in Florida are owned by the Seminole, the Native American tribe. Their theory is we own all our own competition. Every building, every casino in Florida is owned by the Seminoles. So go ahead, don't play with us. Where are you going to play? At another one of our buildings? So the Seminoles, which is Florida, in Florida is the hardest place to negotiate because they don't have to. They don't care. They don't have to. You can't go anywhere else unless you're going to get on a plane and fly to another state. And the closest being Biloxi. And the closest after that would be all the riverboats along the way until you hit New Orleans, and then they're downtown New Orleans and the French Quarter is a casino there. You can go up to Atlantic City or just take a little extra trip and go to Vegas. So anyway, and I would recommend Vegas more times than not for a few reasons. Now, I don't personally, like for my own personal reasons, I wouldn't pick Vegas. Like, I would pick other places, but when it comes to gambling, I think I'm a little bit of a different case than most of you. So, although I personally wouldn't pick Vegas, I think for most of you, you should. Again, they have the most leniency on their rules. And they have a lot of good entertainment. Before you go to the casino, you have to call your host. Let me back up. You have a couple options, and it depends on what level player you currently are. If you don't have a host, there's two things you can do. While you're on property, you can find the host on duty. So depending on how big the building is, they'll have a host office. They don't have a host office. There's usually like one person roaming. That's like the host for each shift. You can ask the floor person. You can ask the pit boss. You can ask the dealer. You can ask literally anybody. Where's a host on duty? Or if it's a big building, where's the host on? You go in there. You go, hi, I'm so-and-so. You always lie to them and tell them you play bigger than you do, because who cares anyway? These are like the biggest scumbags in the world. Who cares? Their literal only job is to extract the most amount of money out of you so you can't pay your bills, you can't feed your kid, and you can't pay rent so they can. These are the biggest scumbags in the world. Lie to them. Who cares? You go in there, you say, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I'd like to sign up for a player's card, and I'm a big gambler in whatever city I'm from. Whatever you do, don't name another building that the mother company owns, because they use one centralized system. So if you walk into Caesar's Palace, you can't claim that you gamble big at Paris. If you walk into MGM Grand, you can't claim you bet big at Aria, right? You just can't do that. And it's also across the world, right? You got to pick a company that they're not with. And you got to also think like this. In Vegas, all the employees have either already worked at the other buildings or their friends currently do, so it's really easy to get a read on you. Pick a casino that they probably don't have a contact at and just claim, oh yeah, I play at such and such casino and this is how big I play. You just tell them a big number, even if it's not true. You go, this is my first time in your building here. I just moved to Vegas or wherever, and I heard this is the best place to play. And be like, I also heard that, and then name their competitor, right? So if you walk into MGM, tell them you heard Venetian. Like, I heard this is the best place to play, but a lot of people told me Venetian. So I figured I'd just come here first is my first recommendation. Always do that. And the reason is they're always gonna fight for your business no matter what. They will die before they lose you to their competition next door. Pin them against each other. Use your leverage. Be smarter than. So you say, yeah, I play over at such and such over in, I don't know what. I play in, this place in Pennsylvania. I play 6 deck. They let me bet 15K a hand in double deck, and they let me bet 40K a hand in baccarat. Be like, hey, I'm coming in now, just wondering what kind of offers do you have? What kind of betting limits can you provide me? What kind of discounts? What kind of promo chips? Do you have a welcome offer? Now, all these things, it's gonna be it would take me, bro, days for me to explain every nuance and every detail of all of them. They're all relevant, except the only things, so it gets so complicated, I'm sorry. You have to decide what you want and what kind of player you are. Where do you benefit the most? So you ask for all the perks, right? Kind of welcome offer, can I get a room for the weekend, comp, which means free? Can I get an upgrade on my room for free? Can I get a limo? Can I get airfare? Do you have a jet? Just ask all these questions, right? And once you get all the answers, you can even write it down if you want. Who cares? Write it down right in the host office, right in front of their face. Write it down. Name, Nico, whatever. Nico said, Jimmy said, whatever the host name is, right? I can get a jet. I can get this % discount. I can get this welcome offer. I can get this many in promo chips. I can get this many in this. I can get this amount for dinner, blah, blah, blah. Write it all down. Leave. Look it over and say to yourself, where's my most valuable area? Then call back and say, ask for one that you don't want. Let's say you don't care about them covering dinner. Hey, I know you said I can get $500 for the steakhouse. Can I actually get $2,000? I'm gonna have a bigger party. They're gonna say, nah, I can't do that until you have more play. You're like, yo, come on, man. You can't have an inconvenient time. I'm trying to be comfortable. I'm with my friends. Don't make me feel uncomfortable. You can't just give me an extra $1,500 and say, no, I'm really sorry. And you're gonna say, okay, fine. I don't want any free dinner. What I want instead is, and then ask for the thing you really want. And you just keep pushing these guys around and these women. Just keep pushing the host around until you get everything you want. When they say no, you just keep asking. You just keep asking and see how many things they're gonna offer you that you forgot to ask. And eventually they'll snitch on themselves. They do it every time. They're not genius. They're casino hosts. It's like entry level, bro. It's like mad regular. You have to go to school to be a dealer, right? You ain't gotta go to school to be a host. You just gotta be a host. You just apply and be a host. Take advantage of it. They're not sharp people. Ask for as many things as you can, and they're gonna start telling you. You can start exploiting. Now, there's a thing called a disc. A discount means a percentage of your money back if you lose. So there's a game some people play. And what we used to do is we'd negotiate with a bunch of casinos. There's a lot of people that do that. And we would negotiate with a bunch of casinos for a discount rate. And we play games that are virtually 50. What happens is you have to have either a line of credit or front money. I'm a front money guy. I don't like lines of credit. I think they're dangerous for a lot of people without self-discipline, which, by the way, you could be a very disciplined person and still lose control sometimes. But also because to get a line of credit, the casinos will look into your bank account. They're not just looking at how much money you have. They're looking at every dollar in and every dollar out. And if you ever lose, they just ACH it. They just pull the money out. They don't need your permission. You sign one time, they have access to your bank account forever, and they can just pull money out anytime you owe them. Anytime they think you owe them. Oh, I gotta hit my move real quick. Okay, so a lot of the discount is gonna be based off of your credit line or your front money. I choose front money. Or how much you lost. Push them around. They're always gonna lowball you. They are always gonna lowball you. Push harder. Tell them their competition is offering more. Just say that all the time. Just keep saying. Just say it. Push them around until they give you a bigger number. They can always go more. Mind you, this is a free roll for them. It didn't cost them any money for you to lose. In theory, they can give you a 100% discount. They never will, but they could. Get as much as you can. The most I've ever got from a Las Vegas brick and mortar casino was it's hard to say because I've only taken 2 discounts in my life. Hold on a second. What did I get? I've taken 1 discount in my life. Hold on a second. I've taken 1 discount in my life and they gave me $1 million in cash when I left. I've taken 1 discount. I feel like I I feel like I took it. I can't remember. Anyway, the average largest discount that's usually offered is 25%. They're gonna try to get you at 5%. They're gonna try to get you at 7.5%. Tell them to piss off. Tell them to beat feet, kick rocks. Say, you can tell them right to their face, don't disrespect me. I'm gonna go next door. They're like, okay, we'll give you a few. This is what they're gonna say. They're gonna say, let me call my boss, because that's the real decision maker, because hosts are dumb. Let me call my boss and let me see what I can do for you. And he's gonna go to the VP of marketing. He's going, this is the deal, this is the player. The VP's gonna say, is there any player history? The host's gonna say, no, but I have a really good feeling about it. I believe he does play big, as long as you convince the host that you play big. And the VP of marketing is gonna say, all right, give him an extra 5%, whatever. Now you got 15%. That's 50% more than you had originally. Now here's a way to beat the casino. It's not cheating. If you got caught cheating in a casino, your first offense is 5 years in state prison. I have friends that get caught doing this all the time. None of them been to prison for it. It's not a crime. It is not cheating. It's a little dirty, so be it. It's called reporting fake losses. So before you play, you have to negotiate your discount, and you need it as high as possible. I jumped a lot of steps. I wish I could really just sit here forever and just give you guys game, like every tiny nuance, every detail. Oh my god, it'd be life changing for you. It would help you so much. Just bear with me. Negotiate the highest discount you can, and then you're gonna play. You need a partner. You and your partner are gonna show up the same amount of money. You're gonna find a stadium game. For those who don't know what that is, stadium game it's like every casino has them nowadays. You ever seen like where every single person can sit at their own little booth and play bubble craps, roulette, baccarat on a little computer screen? It's like in a kiosk in a chair, but there's a lot of them, and they make a big circle, and in the middle of the circle is like usually two big TV screens that are displaying the same thing that's on your board. You can either watch it up there, and usually underneath in the ground is where the bubble craps is, where there's a bubble with roulette in it, right? That's called stadium. You gotta find a stadium game, right? You don't know what that is. Stadium game it's like every casino has them nowadays. You ever seen like where every single person can sit at their own little booth and play bubble craps, roulette, baccarat on a little computer screen? It's like in a kiosk in a chair, but there's a lot of them, and they make a big circle, and in the middle of the circle is like usually two big TV screens that are displaying the same thing that's on your board. You can either watch it up there, and usually underneath in the ground is where the bubble craps is, where there's a bubble with roulette in it, right? That's called stadium. You gotta find a stadium game, right? You get to play on your own, at your own. It's almost like a slot machine almost, but the screen is flat. It's like right here, and everybody gets their own, and it's like a huge circle of this. That's a stadium game. You find those. You go in with your partner. You guys sit next to each other. You buy in for the same amount. You both need a player's card to do this. You both stick your player's card in, play roulette. You bet the same amount. One of you bets black, the other bets red. The ball goes around. When the ball lands in the color, in real life, there's a delay in the computer. It's just how it works. Whichever one of you lost keeps the card. Whichever one of you won pulls your card out. So you're gonna watch the machine. Boom, it lands in red. You bet on red, you pull your card out. You got like maybe 4 seconds. But you can see it, like you're just sitting there. You see, boom, lands in red, and you bet red, pull your card out. Easy. Pull it out. It's right there. Because when you're playing, you can keep your player's card in. That's how it works. Player card in, ball comes, you made the right bet. Mind you, your partner bet black, you bet red. Ball lands on red, I won. I have 4 seconds to pull my card out. My card did not register that win. Put the card back in. Same deal. He bets one color, I bet the other. If it lands on green, you lose. By the way, you lose the bet. It happens. Like, you lose whatever you bet there, you lose. But you both bet the same amount every time. Every single time one of you wins, which will be every single time one of you will win, you have 4 seconds to put your card out before it registers. Happening. At the end of that session, even though you have a winning ticket, or usually between the two of you, you're gonna break even, right? But both your cards, 2 separate people that the casino doesn't know is associated with each other. Both you guys just registered 100% of your losses, 0% of your win. So the card is going to say you lost all of your money, but you have the same amount of money. You broke even. You then tell the host, hey, you told me I can get a 20% discount. Look how much money I lost. Give me my discount. They will pay you in cash. Sometimes they try to pay you in promo chips, and there's 2 types of promo. There's promo chips and there's vouchers. There's 2 different kinds. There's a kind that when you bet, whether you win or you lose, they still take the voucher. There's another kind that you keep betting until you lose. When you lose, they take the chips, and every time you win, they give you real chips against it. You can't cash either of them until you play through them. But the third, which is the best, is just cash. It's very common to get cash discount. So it looks like each one of you lost $100,000, but you broke even, the same amount of money. So each one of your cards says you lost $100,000. So you go to your host with your card and you go, look, I lost $100,000. I lost $10,000, $1,000, whatever you lost. I would like my discount in cash. Boom, 15 grand. You just made 15 grand. You have the same amount of money, but you just made 15 grand, and your partner just made 15 grand. So you just walked out with $30,000 more than you walked in with, because you're registering fake loss. And there's a lot of ways that you can apply that. If you don't get the cash discount, which you should, as long as you negotiate correctly, and you get one of the promos, and it's still $30,000 free dollars in promo. $30,000 for free in promo. You just sit and gamble the promo. And you and your partner can do the same thing in real life. You can go to a real roulette table We can go to real baccarat. What I recommend is baccarat, by the way. That's the hustle is baccarat. What we used to do is we'd play tournaments and they'd give us like the winner get $1 million, $2 million, whatever, but it was always promo chips. And we would sit and we put max bet bank, max bet player, and we just keep going until the money dwindles all the way down, but we've converted cash the whole way. They stopped letting us do that. But now it's you and your partner. When you bet bank, when you bet player. And you both just keep going until you have all the cash. The same difference, it doesn't matter. That is high elite, in my opinion, a bit dirty. I personally don't do that one. Got a lot of friends that do. Whatever, all the power to them. I don't really know. It's not my style, but some information for you. Okay, now we're talking about, here I wrote down, these are my notes from yesterday. I wrote down negotiate all deals, discount, leverage casinos on losses, Bacchus 50-50. Oh, what I was saying earlier. So what we used to do is we would negotiate high discounts and then we would play games, right? So basically, I buy in for $3 million every time I buy in. Well, I used to when I gamble, right? I had a lot of negotiations, and the best negotiations I had were against a $3 million credit line or front money. And again, I don't do lines of credit. I only do front money. So I'll show up with either $3 million cash or a bank check from my bank made out to myself. That's how it works. You make it out to yourself. So from me to me for $3 million, but then I endorse the back. So I buy it for $3 million. And so let's say I negotiate with 4 casinos, for example. And again, this is something that a lot of us do, right? I did, and some people still do. I give $3 million to 4 different casinos, right? So there's $12 million. And I have the same discount negotiated all of them, call it 25%. I would play at one in a game of 50-50, like Baccarat. Hopefully I would. If I lose, they give me back 25%, right? Just shy of $1 million. Then I go to the next casino and I play there, and hopefully I win. And mind you, it's a game that's roughly 50-50. So if I lose at one, I hopefully should win at the other. Boom. So now I broke even on the 2 casinos, but I still have almost $1 million in cash because of my first discount. And then I do it again with the next. Hopefully I win at both of them. But if I lose at one and I win at the other, I break even. And I still have the discount from the 3rd casino for almost $1 million. So now I've made out with roughly $1.5 million because of my discount, $1.5 million in cash because of my discount, but I'm even gambling on the 4 casinos. One say I'm down, one says I'm up, the next says I'm down, the 3rd says I'm down, the 4th says I'm up. But between the 4 casinos, I actually broke even, which is standard, but I've made 25%, $3 million from casino number 1, and I've made 25%, $3 million from casino number 3. So I break even, but I leave with roughly $1.5 million in cash profit. Let's see what else we got. Higher betting limit. While you're negotiating with your host, a huge part of the negotiation for me on how I won all my money, $32 million out of Vegas, a huge component was having higher betting. They wouldn't give me $1 million a hand, but I tried really hard for like 2 years. I tried like super hard, wouldn't do it. The most they would ever give me is $300,000 a hand in Baccarat, $75,000 a hand in 6-deck shoe blackjack, and $50,000 a hand in double deck blackjack. I did not take, for the record, the $300,000 per hand Baccarat off. The reason is I would have a $2 million additional exposure for a $50,000 gain because I can save the exposure of $2 million by front money of $3 million, which is what I told you, for $250,000 a hand. So for me, I would buy it for $3 million. I get $250,000 a hand in Baccarat. I get $75K a hand in 6-deck shoe, and I get $50K a hand in double deck black. You don't have to buy in $3 million to get negotiated limits. Matter of fact, you can technically, if you can convince them, the casino, to give you betting limits for any amount, you can do it. Binions used to do it. They used to let you literally bet anything you wanted at any time. You wanted to bet $1 million a hand, you want to bet $100 a hand, whatever you want, they would take that action. That was a long time ago. There's a different lifetime ago, and a lot of advantage plays came out since then, and there's a lot of politics. Anyway, they don't do that anymore. But get negotiated limit. It's super vital, even if you're playing small. A suggestion that I have, if you have a large bankroll, meaning you have a lot of money in your savings, right? I'm not saying your budget. I'm not saying what you're willing to gamble. I'm not saying what you're willing to spend. I'm just saying that liquidity exists. You buy in really deep. You do big front money. Let's say you have $500,000 in the bank. I don't know if you do. Let's just say you do. A lot of you have a lot more than that. You buy in for $500,000, but you know that you're only willing to spend $20,000. That's fine. When you buy in for the $500,000, it gives you that much more power in negotiation. They don't know that you will never, ever gamble $500,000. It's not gonna happen. They don't know that you know that. So they will negotiate as if they're like salivating at the mouth. They're looking at you like, what a sucker. You're about to be $500,000 poorer after this weekend, and we're gonna be $500,000 richer. That's what they're thinking. That's how they're looking at you, like a sucker. But you have to sucker them, right? You buy in for big amounts, you get way more power negotiating, even if you don't gamble. Honestly, I used to do this all the time. I used to tell a casino, yo, I want this, and this, and they go, oh no, it's gonna cost us $1 million. We can't do that unless you're playing. I go, oh, here's a check right now for $3 million. My usual, I'm playing. I show them the photo. They go, all right, cool, we'll set it all up. I show up, I give them the check. I endorse the back to them, boom, they hold it. And I don't play not one time that. The only thing that happens is the host blows up my phone. I don't care about the well-being of these hosts. I don't care if they get hit by a car. I don't care if their mother falls ill. They're the biggest scum in the world. I do not care. This guy, this girl can call my phone all they want. Mickey, are you playing? Mickey, are you playing? Mickey, are you playing? Mickey, are you playing? Mickey, I spent all this money. Mickey, the casino. I don't care. If I don't want to play, I'm not playing. So I'll just put the front money, get $1 million worth of free stuff, and at the end of it, I go, I don't want to play. Give me my check back. Give me my check back. I check out of the hotel, and I fly home. Get high betting limit. It's very crucial to you winning game. Here's an interesting one. When you get a host, bother your host for everything. Do not spend $1 without first bugging the jeepers out of your host to get whatever you want to buy, have the host pay for it. Bother them and try to get them to cover the tab. Dinner, coffee, Starbucks, hotel, your room, limo, Ubers, your flight, tickets to a boxing match, tickets to a concert, tickets to a show, your wife wants to go shopping, whatever. Anything that it is, do not spend the money before you talk to a host. And don't just talk to those. Demand it of the host. And just keep asking. Just bother them. Who cares? Who cares? Their only goal is to see you broke. Who cares? It's not even their money. It's the casino's money. Who cares? They're public companies. Who cares? Bother the host. The worst they're going to say is no. When they say no, you just ask again anyway. If they just keep saying no, then you go, all right, I'll pick this one up. No problem. When the host agrees to cover costs for you, they always say the same thing. They always say, charge it to your room, and at the end of your trip, I'll review your play. It's a trap. Don't fall for it. These slimy, loser, scumbag, dirtbag. It's a trap. Don't fall for these grimy bums. Every single time a host says they're going to pick something up for you, tell them to drop a comp slip. Comp slips are non-refundable. Comp slips don't get charged to your room. Comp slip can't be charged to you later if you don't play enough or if you don't lose enough. And they also don't like it when you win. And the more you win, the less they comp you. Comp slip can't be affected by any of it. If your host says they're picking up your tab at breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever, I don't care what it is, do not charge it to your room. Tell them to drop a comp slip because then it's prepaid.